Hello, this is Steve Malone with Compass FX. I hope you're doing well today and you're getting some good trades. Over the last couple of days, I've talked about the average daily range. And when the market's range bound, you're trying to figure out which way it's going to go. Oftentimes, if you look at the average daily range, it'll give you near-term resistance and near-term support levels that you can look at as potential targets. Now, one of the questions I've recently been asked by one of our DOTS 4.0 clients is, can they incorporate the average daily range pro calculator with the DOTS indicator? And absolutely, you sure can. The issue here is, you know that the DOTS version 4.0 includes the average daily range on the day. As a matter of fact, you can see it here on the chart of the Aussie dollar. I've got a 5-day average daily range that's already set. It shows 79 pips. It also gives me the average daily range high level and the average daily range low level. So why use the average daily range pro calculator? Because of the weekly levels that are calculated within the average daily range pro calculator. Now, why would I use it and where would I use it? Well, the reason why I would use it is simply this. You can see here that the market broke below the sell target number 2, and there's various ways that we can determine where the market's going to go. A couple of those would be to look for the market to move back to the average daily range low or to move down to the previous low. What if it doesn't do that? There's something in this area that possibly the market's sitting at. Could it be a weekly level notated by the average daily range? Well, when I applied the average daily range pro calculator to the chart, you can see that yes, it is. It's the first extension low weekly level that we've known about since Sunday evening. Another question I've been asked is, does the average daily range pro calculator have the same range as the DOTS 4.0 indicator? And absolutely, yes. You can't get away from what the average highs and average lows are. That's exactly what they are. So you can see here, 5 days, 79 pips, 5 days, 79 pips. But what I'm doing with the average daily range pro calculator is I'm not looking at the daily targets. I've already got that built into DOTS. What I'm looking at is the weekly levels when we go beyond that sell target number 2 or go beyond the buy target number 2. And let me give you an example of a couple of more. When you look at the Euro Swiss, you can see that it broke below the sell target number 2. As a matter of fact, it broke below the previous low and broke below the average daily range low. When it broke and kept on going down, look what it pinned right to. It went right to the weekly mid-low of the week. So when you're trying to consider what's out there, where we're going to, oftentimes simply by using the average daily range pro calculator and looking at the weekly levels along with the DOTS levels here, you have an additional target to shoot for. And to me, as a trader, that's what it's all about. If I know where the market's potentially going to go, I have a target to shoot for. And that helps me in my trading. I'll give you one more example here is the Euro Yen. Now, a long time ago, in my early days of trading, I learned a term called confluence. Confluence is when you have two indicators put together, they point out a significant level in the marketplace. And oftentimes, the market will bounce off that level of confluence. If it doesn't bounce through, there's got to be a lot of energy to drive it through that market and keep on going. In this case, typical of confluence, we see that the market came down to the sell target number 2, went through it, went through the weekly low, but look, they're only about 5 pips apart from one another. And we got to close, but on the next bar, we actually closed back above the weekly low target, and we're kind of sitting here kind of bouncing around. So there was confluence between the sell target number 2 and the weekly low. So one of the other things I look for is, as I'm trading with my DOTS indicator, I'm also looking for confluence in the weekly levels. Now, obviously, there's going to be times where the market's going to break through a weekly level based upon the average daily range and continue going on possibly to that next level on down. Well, folks, this is Steve Malone with Compass FX. I just wanted to answer that specific question about trading with the DOTS indicator and with the average daily range pro calculator. Now, if you want to learn more about the average daily range pro calculator, go over to www.compassfx.com/ADR and you'll learn more about that. If you're not familiar with the DOTS indicator, you can learn more about the DOTS over at www.compassfx.com/DOTS. Well, folks, this is Steve Malone with Compass FX. I hope some of the information I've shared with you in this video has answered your question, Y'all make it a great day, get some good trades, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.